What if the crippled beggar you ignored today was the billionaire who could change your life tomorrow? This is the story of Wambu, a young pregnant woman abandoned in Lagos, whose kindness to a stranger unlocked a destiny beyond her imagination. The sun beat down mercilessly on the crowded streets of Balogun Market, Lagos. Hawkers shouted over one another, trying to draw customers to their stalls. The smell of roasted corn, fried puff-puff, and exhaust fumes hung heavy in the air. At a corner, Wambu, a young woman in her early 20s, stood fanning the charcoal fire beneath her roasting maize. Her swollen belly peeked from under her faded wrapper. Sweat drenched her face, but she forced a smile each time a customer approached. Her hands moved quickly, turning the corn, sprinkling salt, wrapping them in newspaper. Each sale gave her just enough to keep the fire going, but not enough to silence the hunger gnawing in her belly, or the fear of tomorrow. Her thoughts often drifted to Chike, the man who had promised her love, marriage, and a new life in Lekki. Instead, when she told him she was pregnant, he vanished. Blocked her calls. Pretended she never existed. Now she was alone. Alone with her unborn child. Alone in a city that devoured the weak. But still, she hustled. Still, she fought. Scene 2, The Beggar. Across the road, near a pile of broken wood, sat a crippled beggar. His legs were twisted and useless, his clothes torn and dusty. He held out a rusty tin cup, shaking it at passers-by. "I beg, help me. Small change, please." Most people ignored him. Some spat near his feet. Others mocked. "Lazy man. Go work." But every afternoon, when the market slowed, Wambu crossed the street with a piece of roasted corn and handed it to him. "Here, eat. At least you won't sleep hungry tonight." The beggar's eyes always softened. "God bless you, my daughter. You will never lack." Wambu only smiled faintly. "Amen. But if God is listening, he is very quiet." Still, she gave. Even when she had almost nothing, she shared. The other traders whispered whenever they saw her feeding the beggar. "That girl is foolish," one woman hissed. "She can barely feed herself yet she wastes food on a cripple." Another laughed. "Pregnant and broke, but playing charity. When hunger finish her, she will learn sense." Wambu heard it all, but she never stopped. Something inside her refused to let a man starve when she had food in her hand. One evening, as the market closed, Wambu packed her unsold corn. She tied her wrapper tighter and began the walk to her one-room apartment. The streets were dark, lit only by a few flickering bulbs. Suddenly, a group of area boys emerged from the shadows. Dirty, wild-eyed, carrying sticks. "Weigh our money," one growled. "You day sell for this street, you go pay tax." I don't have any extra," Wambu stammered. "Please, I am only trying to survive." They laughed cruelly. One grabbed her basket of corn and flung it into the dirt. Another pushed her, and she fell, clutching her belly. Fear strangled her throat. She screamed. "Somebody help me." From the shadows, the crippled beggar dragged himself forward. With trembling arms, he crawled into the circle, positioning his body in front of hers. "Leave her alone," he shouted. His voice shook, but his eyes blazed with courage. "Touch her again, and you will face me." The area boys roared with laughter. "See this cripple Wandu hero." They shoved him aside, but he crawled back, shielding Wambu again. Something about his madness unsettled them. After all, who fights with broken legs? Finally, spitting curses, they disappeared into the night, leaving the corn scattered in the dust. Wambu sobbed, holding her stomach. The beggar placed a trembling hand on her shoulder. "Do not fear, Wambu. The world will know your name." She looked at him, confused. How do you know my name?" But he only smiled mysteriously. The next morning, when Wambu crossed the street with a roasted corn, the beggar's spot was empty. Days passed. Weeks. He never returned. The traders joked, maybe your crippled boyfriend finally died. But Wambu's heart ached. She missed him more than she expected. He was the only soul in Lagos who had stood by her, even if he had nothing. Still, life went on. Hunger, rent, the cries of her unborn child. Wambu sat on her wooden bed in her tiny one-room apartment in Ajagunal. The zinc roof leaked when it rained, the mattress sagged, and rats scurried in the corners. She cradled her belly, humming softly to calm her unborn child. Then, knock knock knock. "Who is it?" she asked nervously. "Postman," came the reply. Confused, Wambu opened the door. The postman handed her a cream-colored envelope sealed with a golden crest. No one ever sent her letters. Her hands shook as she tore it open. Inside was a neatly folded sheet. "You are requested to report to the headquarters of Eagle Holdings, Victoria Island, Lagos, at 10 a.m. tomorrow. This concerns a matter of great importance to your future." At the bottom was a signature, Chief Adewale Johnson, CEO. Wambu blinked, bewildered. Eagle Holdings. That name was everywhere, billboards, banks, oil companies. A giant in Lagos. Why would such a man summon her, a struggling street hawker? The next morning, Wambu wore her cleanest wrapper and tied her headscarf neatly. Her heart pounded as she squeezed into a Danfo bus heading toward Victoria Island. The air was thick with sweat, noise, and the conductor's endless shouts. She clutched the letter tightly, staring out at the glittering skyscrapers as the bus crossed 3rd Mainland Bridge. Lagos looked different here, tall towers of glass and steel, polished cars, perfume instead of sweat. When the bus dropped her at the gates of Eagle Holdings, she nearly turned back. The building loomed above her, 40 stories high, walls gleaming like mirrors. Security men in sharp uniforms stood at the entrance. One stepped forward. "Madam, who are you looking for?" Her voice trembled. I was sent this letter." She held it out. The guard scanned it, then stiffened. She was led into a golden elevator that whooshed upward silently. Her knees trembled. At the top floor, the doors opened to a vast office with glass walls overlooking the ocean. Behind a mahogany desk sat a tall man in a designer suit. His hair was silver, his posture commanding, his eyes sharp but kind. "Good morning, Wambu," he said. Her jaw dropped. The voice was familiar. Too familiar. She staggered back. It can't be. You were." The man smiled gently. "Yes. I was the crippled beggar." Wambu's mind spun. This powerful man, this billionaire, was the same figure who once sat in the dirt, shaking a rusty tin cup. Chief Adewale leaned back in his chair. "For 2 years, I disguised myself as a crippled beggar in different parts of Lagos. I wanted to test the heart of this city. I wanted to see who would show kindness without expecting anything in return." He rose and walked slowly toward her, his steps firm. "Do you know how many people passed me by? Thousands. Some mocked me. Some spat on me. Some even kicked my tin away. But you, Wambu, you gave. Even when you had nothing." Tears filled her eyes. I only did what my mother taught me. To never let someone go hungry when I had food." Adewale smiled. "And that, my dear, is why I summoned you here. Because kindness must never go unrewarded." He pressed a button. The office door opened, and 2 assistants wheeled in a folder and a small key. "This," Adewale said, handing her the folder, "is the deed to a fully furnished 3-bedroom apartment in Lekki Phase 1. And this," he placed the key in her trembling palm, "is to your new car." Wambu gasped. She couldn't breathe. "Chief, this must be a mistake. I am just a poor woman. I don't deserve this." He looked at her firmly. "You deserve far more. From today, you are the director of my charity foundation, an organization that will help single mothers, widows, and the poor across Nigeria. You will run it, because you know their pain better than anyone. Her knees gave way. She fell to the floor, sobbing. God. God has remembered me. But just as relief washed over her, the office doors burst open. In walked a man in a chauffeur's uniform, his face pale as chalk when his eyes fell on Wambu. It was Chike. Her ex-lover. The man who abandoned her. The man who swore he never wanted the child. Wambu, he stammered, his voice breaking. What are you doing here? Wambu froze, blood draining from her face. Chike. Chief Adewale's eyes flickered between them, sharp with curiosity. Ah. So you two know each other? Chike's hands shook. He fell to his knees, begging. Please, forgive me, Wambu. I didn't know. I didn't know you would rise like this. Give me another chance. Wambu stared at him in disbelief, her mind a storm. The same man who threw her away, was now at her mercy. The silence in Chief Adewale's office was heavy. Only the hum of the air conditioner filled the room. Chike remained on his knees, his palms pressed together, tears streaking his cheeks. Wambu, please, forgive me. I was blind, foolish. I thought money was everything, and you had nothing to give. I was wrong. Please, let me be part of your life again. Let me raise our child with you. Wambu's hands shook. She remembered the nights she went hungry, the days she fainted from exhaustion, the insults from neighbors. All while Chike lived comfortably, pretending she never existed. Her lips curled bitterly. Now you remember you are a father. When I begged you to stand by me, you vanished. When I was mocked in the streets, you were nowhere. And today, because you see wealth, you crawl like a dog. Chike sobbed harder. I swear I have changed. Just one more chance. Chief Adewale, who had been silent, finally spoke, his voice deep and commanding. Chike, do you know why I disguised myself as a beggar? To see true character. Money blinds men. But poverty reveals the heart. And you failed the test. Chike looked up desperately. Sir, please. Adewale raised a hand, silencing him. You mocked what you should have loved. You abandoned the treasure God gave you. Now watch her shine without you. Wambu wiped her tears and stood tall. For the first time, she felt strength in her bones. She looked at Chike with calm finality. My forgiveness is not for you. It's for me and my child. But understand this, Chike, you will never again have a place in our lives. She turned her back on him. The weight of years of pain lifted from her shoulders. Chike's cries echoed in the grand office, but no one moved to help him. Weeks later, newspapers across Lagos carried headlines. Street hawker becomes CEO of Billionaire Foundation. From Ajagunle to Lekki, the inspiring story of Wambu. Television crews followed her as she launched programs feeding widows, giving shelter to single mothers, and offering scholarships to poor children. Everywhere she went, people whispered her name with awe. Wambu, the woman the world mocked, had become a symbol of hope. Scene 16, The Legacy. One evening, standing on the balcony of her Lekki apartment, Wambu gazed at the city lights, her hand resting on her swollen belly. She whispered to her unborn child. My little one, you will never know the hunger I knew. You will never cry the tears I cried. Because kindness, even when the world laughs at you, always finds its reward. Behind her, Chief Adewale approached, smiling warmly. Wambu, the world is watching. But more importantly, the heavens are smiling. You have proven that true wealth is not in money, but in the heart. Wambu nodded, tears of gratitude glistening in her eyes. Epilogue. Chike disappeared from the city, a broken man consumed by regret. The area boys who once tormented Wambu were later found working in her foundation, reformed by her kindness. And Wambu? She became a legend in Lagos. The pregnant hawker who fed a beggar, only to discover she had fed a king. Her story was told in markets, schools, and churches, a reminder that no act of kindness is ever wasted. Because in Lagos, the city that never sleeps, kindness had finally written its greatest tale.